Hey guys, Brad Kemp from Blue Nile Farm. Welcome to the channel. This is part three of my tub grinder rebuild, and I got delayed for a lot of different reasons this year to get this done. And one of the delays was getting this mill back. So I had this mill sent out to Greg Giegerich, who's out in Perry, Ohio, which is up by Cleveland, and about 30 minutes from my house. And I had Greg, who's a tool and die guy, to design and change the mill. I wanted somebody that kind of had knowledge and technical knowledge of machinery and equipment to come up with a design. And I think he did a really fine job. And I kind of wanted to show you what we've done to change this mill. This mill right now is ready to get flange bearings put on it, to create a box around it. I still have to get the screens that go underneath. So when we're actually breaking down material, that it's going to size it. There's a lot of things that have to be done right now. But right now, since I got this back, I kind of want to show you what he did, and so we can move on to the next stage. So let me give you a close-up and walk you around the mill itself and how it's now designed. So before I get into what he did, I had this bearing, looks like a bearing or a balance wheel, whatever you want to call it. It was up here in the front of the shaft, and we had to take that out because it actually was connected, the drive line was actually connected to it, which actually spin the mill from the transmission. And I'm going to completely redo that system, and I needed to get it off anyway to put flange bearings on. So that's been removed, got that done. Now this is actually the mill itself, and Greg wound up designing these cups. And this is what we're actually got our cutters into, and you can see how they're kind of squared out on the top. Well, this is actually a tooth from Morbark that I just have sitting in there, and it's designed specifically to accept that tooth. Then we'll stick a bolt through here and then put a nut on the other end, lock that sucker down, and we'll be in good shape. There's 12 of those actual teeth that'll be going around this whole mill. The mill's about 28 inches long, about 23 inches wide, and the shaft itself is about 2.5 inches. Now, as you can see, you have these circular plates that go completely around, and then these bolts are drilled right through the plates themselves. And what's nice is that when Greg designed these, that all the pressure that would ever hit the front of this is actually going to be absorbed by the plates. And you can see how they're cut and stuck into the plate itself. And cut right around the groove of the plate. So I don't think we're going to have any movement. I don't think we're going to have any breakage. I think this is going to be really a solid piece to do bigger items. And I'm really excited about it. Now my plan to utilize it is basically on branches, about 6 to 8 inches and smaller, and it's going to replace a chipper. And I'm a one-man operation. I thought that would be quite effective for me to use. And right now it's not set up properly. Now this mill is pretty heavy, and like I say, I still have to create a box around it, get flange bearings, and then also buy the proper screens so we can get to business. But that's kind of it, an overall shot of what we've gotten accomplished so far. And it cost me $4,300 to get this designed. Hopefully that's money well spent, because this is the heart and soul of the unit, and hopefully it'll run like it should. So let me show you what the tub grinder, the mill part, actually looked like before we actually removed it, and so you understand what I was working with initially, kind of like a refresher. But this is the mill encased in the tub grinder with the platform completely removed. We had to really torch it out, get as much of it removed as possible. It's just a very crude machine that somebody actually created, and I bought this with lack of knowledge on my part of what I was getting into. Here you can actually see the screen. It's not even removable. If I wanted to change that screen, you'd actually had to cut everything out. It was just impossible. So we're going to design it where we can have easy access to every aspect of this unit so we can fix it. And when I need to take this out, I will. And again, this is the part that actually has been cut out. And what I want you to see is the hammers, because that's really the biggest change that's happened to the unit itself as far as the mill goes. And you can see the hammers are just square pieces. They're running through the bar, and all they would just do is rotate and swing. And they have no ability to actually rip up wood or debris that I was hoping to do. And they just really are designed to work on wood chips. So other than taking out those hammers, He just created a whole different system with those cups and those teeth, which I think are going to work out really well. Um, this system worked for what the other guy had. If I was just making chips, it'd probably work. But for what I want to do, it wasn't really worth the hassle. And if something broke, it was just a terrible rip down. So I'm happy we're doing what we're doing. So this is the mill itself. Actually, after everything, all that hardware was taken off and all the teeth. And this is what Greg Giegerich had to work with. He did a good job, like I say. I was happy with that. So in addition to that, this is his design, how he developed it, how he put those pieces that are custom made in, and I think they're really going to hold up well with the bar. It's a lot cleaner system, and I think it's going to do a real nice job once we get it used. So this is what it looks like, and I just want to give you guys a taste. Hey guys, thanks for watching the end of that video. I just want to kind of show you the mill after it was worked on, and then I figured I'd better show you what it looked like what it looked like before, so you kind of get a idea of what I was dealing with. So right now, before I even start working on the mill and starting to build the box and get the flange bearings, the other thing I want to start doing is I got to look at my drive line, and I want to get that measured out. I want to make sure I have the drive line set up going from the transmission to the mill and have that in place and get an idea how I'm going to develop that before I build the box. So then it's really easy to put everything together. But again, this is the heart and soul of the machine. The engine runs good, and I need to make this safe. And before, I just had one huge long drive line with no protection, and it was just kind of nerve-wracking. If it ever broke, I knew it would be a big mess. So I'm really happy with what we're doing, and that's kind of the trajectory of where I'm going. And hopefully I can get some of these parts together and get started on actually putting it together. So until next video, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.